your circumstances. This begins the prayer prepares us for the rest of the service by getting us focused on how to improve how we feel inside so we are able to deal with the outside world. I can really relate to this prayer as I often had to improve my inside outlook to overcome personal fears. For example, I was initially scared to mountain bike as I was worried I might crash and land in a cactus, but I overcame my fear by taking it slow and internalizing that I could mountain bike. This led me to be able to mountain bike in the dangerous desert, so next time you get asked to do something that is out of your comfort zone, satisfy your inside self and go do it. You will not regret it because it is more fun if you go than if you stay behind.
Page 192.
When I first told my parents that I was writing the Siyun about the Nisim B'chol Yom, my dad got so excited that he not only printed his speech for when he wrote about this prayer, but he also sent a podcast from Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, a famous rabbi from Great Britain. True story. Love you, Dad. Though my dad provided me with useful resources, I thought I'd rather write my own interpretation of this prayer. Through the Nisim B'chol Yom, a prayer for daily miracles, we express gratitude for our daily blessings. Simple actions like waking up, getting dressed, or going to school are things most of us take for granted. Yet, if we were just to take a step back, we would realize how fortunate we are. I'm hypocritical for just saying that because I too have taken these simple blessings for granted. But by breaking down this prayer, I have learned to be more aware of my blessings. One of the lines in this prayer that we recite reminds us that we are created in the image of God. Whether you believe in God or not, I take this line to convey that there is a place for everyone in this world. Not only should we appreciate the objects in our life, but we must recognize the important people to us too and remind them how thankful we are to have them in our lives.
Baruch atah Adonai
198. What's wrong? Yeah. Nisim B'chol Yom, 198.
Oh, yeah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lesavi bina lehavkin ben yom uben laila, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam bokeach ivrim, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim, who frees
captive. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Zokef kefufim, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Rokah ha'aretz al hamayim, who stretches the earth over the waters. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamachim et tzadei gaver, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Malbish harumim, who clothes the naked. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Hanoten le'ahev koach, who gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Hama'ir shenai me'inai utnu mana afapai, remove sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shesani B'Tselem Elohim, who made me in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shesani Bat Horin, who has made me free. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shesani Israel, who has made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Ozer Yisrael b'gvura, who girds Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Oter Yisrael b'tifara, who crowns Israel with splendor.
Does anyone know the correct definition of a teacher? My definition of a teacher is one who inspires, guides, enlightens, and motivates. The Kaddish Rabbanan, also known as the Rabbi's Kaddish, is the earliest form of Kaddish prayer, and this is the first time in the history of CVI confirmation that we will recite this prayer for confirmation. To some extent, this prayer is about how students and teachers can bring holiness and a sense of divine presence into this world. Kaddish Rabbanan also states that as a result of the synergy between students and teachers, our teachers are also vessels of holiness and having a divine presence, that teachers in turn should help formulate a vision of peace that they can spread to all Israel and ultimately to all the world. This would support the idea that our teachers can honestly inspire and enlighten all of us. The Kaddish Rabbanan states, for Israel and all her sages, for the students and all students of their students, and for those who occupy themselves with Torah, whether in this place or any place, may God grant them and you peace and grace and love and mercy and long life and ample sustenance and saving acts, all flowing from divine abundance in the worlds beyond. The Rabbi's Kaddish also teaches us about the general connection between us and all of our teachers, along with their teachers as well. Every student becomes a teacher, and what we have learned from those before us, we will teach others. As an example, when we traveled to Washington, D.C., as part of Lachaten, we learned about all aspects of the issues on behalf of which we lobbied. The sages at the RAC, the Religious Action Center, taught us, the students, and mentored us, so we would be fully prepared to talk to the senator's representatives about the topics we were passionate about. My group lobbied for the DACA movement, and since that weekend, I have taught other people around me about it. This, then, is the entire meaning of the prayer. Like my fellow Coppermans, I started as a student and progressed into a teacher to others who did not know this important issue. Kaddish Rabbanan implies that the Jewish people are a people of studying and learning, teaching and receiving. This is critical to our Jewish life. It is very clear every time we study Torah or do anything, because we as a Jewish people are taught to follow commandments. And we, as the chosen people, teach others around us and our children and our children's children about this, and we improve the world around us. This morning, as students, we understand these ideals and we accept our place and links of the chain of Jewish tradition. Shabbat Shalom.
So again, for the first time, we recite this Rabbi's Kaddish, which is customary in between the morning blessings and the Baruch Hu. It can be found on page 208. We want, of course, everyone to participate. And please stand for the Rabbi's Kaddish for our teachers and their teachers. 208.
Kehilah Kedoshah, Kehilah Kedoshah, V'chayom v'mechor v'chayet v'kol Yisrael v'yodav v'zman k'riv v'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Yidra v'yishbar v'yitahar v'yitnaman v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitadeh v'yitavah Shmei Kedoshah v'rehu v'elam v'yikol v'yitah v'shirtah Tushbe'ata v'nanamata
Amira v'imru. 210. Al Yisrael. 210. I'm sorry, 92. That was, or 210. 210. Yes. Here, read with me. Bigger print.
Al Yisrael v'al Ronan v'al Talmidei v'al Talmidei v'al Ma'im Azei v'Torata Di v'Ashra Adin Di v'Hol Atar v'Atar Yehi v'Hon v'Hon Shlama Rabba Chima v'Chisa v'Chayim Arichim Mizonei Ruchecham Ufutana Min Katam Aruhon Di Tishmaya v'Arha v'Amru Amen Yehi Shlama Rabba Mishmaya v'Chayim Tovim V'Kol Yisrael V'Imru Amen Oseh Shalom V'Ramav U'Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Kol Yisrael V'Kol B'Shtei Tel V'Imru Amen.
Please remain standing. Actually, please be seated. I'm the only one making the cue mistakes this morning. How ironic. I think it's karma because I yelled at them so much this week. We call now up for our next group for the rubric of what's called the Shema and its blessings. That again is the Shema v'Ahavta at the center. In the beginning is our Yotzer Or, our prayer for morning creation, and toward the end, the Geula, which includes the Michamocha. This is the first three-part section of the service. And because we're so good with technology these days, Solomon Lerner, who is one of our confirmands, represented today by his grandmother who is here, is at his first cousin's bat mitzvah in St. Louis, but miraculously will be providing us with the iyun for Michamocha in this section. So while he's not on the bima as part of this group, he is. Okay, next group.
The Baruch Hu comes at a time in the service when we have a special moment with God together. This call to prayer draws the community together about praising Adonai. We rise together to share this powerful moment. This prayer shows praising our God will never have an end. There will always be a time to praise God now and forever. These words teach us that not only do we need God at times of good and bad, but maybe God needs us too. Acknowledging God with our collective praise is a choice. God would still exist without our blessing, but it's an intangible existence without our blessing. When you share this special moment with God, you praise, thank, ask, and express your feelings. Our prayers have power, and when we pray to God for someone who is sick, it is helpful and very valuable, and we should never take those powerful words for granted. We should not only express our gratitude to God in words, but by our actions and choices we choose to make. We share this time praising God, feeling a personal connection as well as a connection with the community.
The Hebrew word Yotzer translates to creator in English. Our Creator, also known as God, developed sun and light as his first creation. The sun is the center of all life on earth, and it is for this reason that the prayer Yotzer Or praises God for creating sun and light. The Yotzer also reminds us that despite some of the bad things that go on in life, we should also acknowledge and appreciate the miracle of light in contrast to the darkness. We praise God for having the privilege of waking up to God's light each morning. The Yotzer states how it is truly remarkable that God is able to recreate his creations each day, and without God, the universe would not exist.
Many things in life seem complicated or challenging, and frequently Torah is perceived that way too, but it doesn't always have to be. One of the more simple prayers that comes from the Torah are the words of the Shema. The prayer reads in English, "Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one." Take a moment and think about these words. Don't overthink, don't overanalyze, just get the main idea and listen to the words. Most people, including me, read, understand, and take away from the Shema that you shall love God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your might, that there is one God in heaven and earth, and he is the God who guides you in your blessings. The Shema is short and simple, but powerful and underrated, like most things in life. The rabbis say with all your soul. I feel this means that from the deepest, most sincere parts of your neshama, your soul, you are praying to God filled with love, respect, and dignity. I'm greatly connected to this prayer because since birth till about 14, my parents sang this prayer to my brother and me before bed. This prayer will always be a part of my Jewish journey and hardships throughout my life, and I'll rely on it always. My hope is that all Jews everywhere can appreciate the Shema like I do.
The Ve'ahavta tells one to love God with all of their heart and all of their might. It teaches us to impress our love of God to our children, to take our love of Adonai wherever we go. This is what the prayer teaches on the surface. But when I look to the Ve'ahavta, I see more than what you can read on the page. When I read the prayer, I understand a deeper meaning, emphasizing the importance of remembering my Jewish faith wherever I go and in whatever I do. I also read a theme of family in the Ve'ahavta. It tells us to pass down Judaism from generation to generation, to make it a family tradition. So while on the surface the Ve'ahavta may read as a prayer telling us to love God, to me it means more. It means loving Judaism and loving family.
So we begin now the Shema and its blessings, page 226. Together we stand.
Yotzer or uverei choshech, oseh shalom uverei et hakol, hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha rachamim, tivo mekadesh b'chol yom tamid maseh bereshit, ma'arabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam le'olma sita, ma'aretz kinyanecha, tivarach Adonai Eloheinu al sheva maseh yedecha,
Yotzer HaMe'orot. (232) Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Please be seated. We continue on page 234 with Ve'ahavta.
את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושינתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי וייתן קדושים אלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמן.
The Mi Chamocha is about praising God and God's amazingness. The story goes, as while the Israelites were on the shore of the Red Sea with Pharaoh's army approaching, a young child named Nachshon walked into the sea singing this song. As he was walking, the water was rising on his body, and when he got to the second Chamocha, water filled his mouth, making it sound like Kamocha. Eventually, the sea parted, in large part due to this praise. This relates to the recent holiday, Passover, because it allowed the majority of the Passover story to happen. Had Nachshon not sang this prayer, there is no way to tell where we would be as Jews. Thanks in part to this prayer, the Jewish people are allowed to enjoy freedom in joyous occasions like Passover. As I already said, the Mi Chamocha is about God and God's oneness. The prayer speaks to the uniqueness of God. It asks, who is like you? A question that truly needs no answer. This shows the splendor of God and God's unique ability of working wonders. The prayer suggests that God is amazing and alone in his abilities. This also states that God is the Redeemer of Israel, which includes us, the people of Israel.
Page 240. Yam bam bam bim bim bam ya ba 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 bim bam yam bam bam bim bim bam ya ba 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 bim bam ai da 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 ya ba 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 bim bam ai da 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 ya ba 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 bim bam Kamocha b'alim Adonai Kamocha nedar b'kodesh Norati lo tosef elech Norati lo tosef elech Shira chadasha shibhu getulim Leshimcha al Sabatayam Yachad Kulam Olu V'Chlu V'Ameru Adonai Imloch Le'olam Va'ed Yam Bam Bam Bim Bim Bam Yam Bam Bam Bim Bam Yam Bam Bam Bim Bim Bam Yam Bam Bam Bim Bam Ay Dai 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 Ya ba 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 bim bam, ay 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 ay, ya ba 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 bim bam. To Yisrael, kuma be'ezrat Yisrael, uvdechenu mecha, Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Go aleinu Adonai tzvaot shemo, Kedosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael.
So this next section of the prayer service is the Amidah, the Tefillah, the standing prayer. And we're coming off of the Shema and its blessings. And the rabbis make a distinction between the Shema and its blessings, Shema V'irchotecha, and the Amidah that we're about to first hear about and then pray together. And what the rabbis say is we can say the Shema in any way. We can say it sitting down or standing up, lying in bed, walking on our way. We can even say it at the top of a tree. We're allowed to say the Shema at the top of the tree. But when it comes to the Amidah, we need to focus. We need to ground ourselves, take a step back, and concentrate. So with that, when we are about to hear from the confirmands what the Amidah means to them, they'll tell us a little bit about what each of the sections is. I invite you to think back to the ancestors who we're about to name in the Avot V'Imahot, knowing that this prayer, this tradition is not only the tradition of our ancestors, but the tradition that we are passing down to the confirmands for them and the next generation. So we turn to page 242, and now Hallie, Lily, and Zach, and Chloe will share some words about the Amidah.
Wherever you wander, everyone has different values, a difference in aspirations, and a difference in dreams. But before embarking on my journey through confirmation class, I never took into consideration that there is a difference in each of our personal relationships with God. Avot V'Imahot means fathers and mothers, or our ancestors. Thousands of years ago, our fathers and mothers of Judaism were born: Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah. While they were alive, they each created a unique and personal relationship with God. Everyone's life journey reveals God in different ways. Therefore, everyone needs God and sees God differently. In my opinion, there is no right or wrong way to perceive God or to appreciate God's presence in our lives. Additionally, whether you believe in God or not, God will always be there. I find it highly comforting that our individual relationship with God is one that is so unique that no one can replicate it. Yes, we are descendants of our ancestors, yet it is our personal choice how we go about and view life in God.
A concept that I learned in school is that God is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. While this was taught in the context of another tradition, I found the meaning of it to be interesting. This concept teaches that God was the very first and will be the very last thing to ever exist. In the Gevurot, it states that God is forever mighty. To me, this means that his reign over the universe is just as compelling at this exact moment as it was when he first created the universe. God is a presence that is always with us but rarely felt. That is why I found this phrase to be so interesting. How a being so strong and powerful is often unnoticed in the world around us. That is why we have to find God's presence in the small things. The first day of kindergarten and graduating college, the birth of a baby, and the peaceful passing of the elderly. God is around us in all of our beginnings and ends, all of our alphas and omegas.
The Kedoshah is one of the most important prayers throughout the Shabbat morning service. In short, these words taken from the prophet Isaiah states that God is one and that God is holy in every present. This is important to me because I see God throughout every waking moment in my life. From when I wake up in the morning to when I go to sleep at night, God is there. From being in such a loving family to a great community, God is there. God is one of the most prevalent reasons why I'm here at Congregation Beth Israel's confirmation services on May 12, 2018. God is the reason why I'm surrounded by people like my mom, dad, and brother. God is how I met all of these wonderful people sitting in front of me and behind me. Anyways, what I'm trying to get at is how everything fell into the right place through God in order to give me this wonderful life. To wrap it up, the Kedoshah can be expressed into how each individual human being's life is brought about through God and God's holiness.
stand as one community and turn to 142, reading the Amidah.
Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Svatai Dimna. Na 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 Ufi Agi. Ufi Agi Tehilah. Adonai, Eloheinu, Velohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibur v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shmo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshe U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibur Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol, Atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayei Memunato, Vishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Givurot, Umido Melach, Melech Mimit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, B'neman Atalachayot Hakol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol. 248. Nikadesh et Shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, Kakatuv al yad nevi'echa, V'kara ze el ze ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Meloch ol haaretz, Kevodo. Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Ma'adir Shimcha, B'chol haaretz, Baruch Kevod Adonai, Mimkomo. Echadu Eloheinu, Hu Avinu, Hu Malkeinu, Hu Moshienu, Ve'hu Yashmienu, Ve'rachamav le'enei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Hirtzion, Ledor vador, Hallelujah. Ledor vador nagid godlecha, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי שבת וקוראי עונג. עם מקדשי שביעי כולם יספרו ויתענגו מטובך. והשביעי רצית בו וקידשתו, חמדת ימים אותו קראת, זכר למעשה בראשית. Please be seated.
When I think of the words of Yehiyu Leratzon, these words we recite after our silent prayer, I think about how much trust we put into God. Not only how we trust God as a being, but as something, a force or energy we can lean on. When we say our silent prayers, we tell God things we would otherwise not tell anyone else. We trust that God is somewhere, maybe next to us or on some cloud, or maybe inside of us, listening to all of our problems, telling God we need healing or help with certain issues in our life, or even asking for a puppy. No matter what you are sharing with God, you are trusting God. You may think God will fix all the things you have asked for, or maybe just lend a listening ear and let you know everything will turn out okay. This is what the prayer means to me, but for you it could mean something totally different, and that is perfectly okay. When I sing this prayer, I am thanking God for listening and helping me through tough times. He is our rock and our redeemer, and I will forever be thankful and grateful for God.
We take a moment now for our own silent prayer. Page 260.
Adonai.
We now continue with Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of Torah. And we are going to have many participants in this part of our service from our confirmation class, of course. The Torah service can be found in your Sidurim, excuse me, on, where did it go? 362. And the way this is going to work is we are going to call for the honor of opening our Arona Kodesh, Gabby Sudhaltler and Noah Kaplan. Our Torah holders for the Hakafa will be actually taking all 3 Torahs from the Arona Kodesh, Rachel, Rianne, and Chloe. And the Devar Torah, I'll just do all the announcements right here, will be in a few moments from Maddie Shore, which is very cool because this was her Bat Mitzvah portion as well. But she wrote a whole new Devar Torah. So she will be sharing some words later. And then when we get to the next part of the service, we'll announce who will be coming up after that group. So again, our ark openers will be Noah and Gabby S. Rachel, Rianne, and Chloe will be holding the Torahs for our Hakafa, and Maddie will be delivering our Devar Torah. We are again on page 362. En kamocha ba'Elohim Adonai ve'en kema'asecha malchutecha malchut kol olamim u'memsholtecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch leolam voed. Adonai oz le'amo yitein. Adonai et amo b'shalom. Av harachamim Heitiv avir tzoncha et Zion. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Ki v'cha levad batachnu. Melech Ram Benisa Adon Olamim. Page 364, and then right to the top of 366. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah. Wait. Yerushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Le'amo Yisrael, B'kedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu el ha'kosho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu el ha'kosho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Rabbeinu. Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Rabbeinu. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yemedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yemedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yemedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yemedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yemedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yemedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yemedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yemedu od milchama. Before Maddie begins drashing, for those of you who got a commentary, we have a few more left on the back shelf. If you'd like to follow along, we'll be on page 850 for Parshat Bahar. And again, they're on the shelf over behind you on that side. And I'm just not that fast. Anyway, you're welcome to follow along. We don't have the little printout. We have a printout, but not with this in there, and you can't read it anyway. So 850. But before we chant Torah, let's hear some Torah from Maddie Shur. Shabbat Shalom.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom. It is said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different outcome. Surprisingly, this idea connects with this week's Torah portion, Bahar, which is in the book of Leviticus. This portion outlines the laws for the Jewish people of the sabbatical and Jubilee years. The sabbatical year is when the Jewish people were commanded by God to have a Shabbat for the land every 7th year to give the land for farming a rest or break from normal production. The Jubilee is on the 50th year, where the Jews are required to return all of their land and belongings to their original owners. Right now, I feel as our country is going through its own sabbatical year, its own natural movement towards change. On March 24th, I joined students all across the country at the March for Our Lives. This movement was started by the survivors of the Parkland shooting and is about how we, the students, demand stricter gun laws and to end the fear we carry in our schools. I marched proudly with the 25,000 estimated people at the Phoenix March, surrounded with Jewish teens from the National Federation of Temple Youth that are quite like myself and my classmates. We made our voices heard that the time for change isn't when the next shooting happens, not tomorrow, but today. Just as God commanded us to give back on the sabbatical, I feel like it's my responsibility to give back and make a stand for all the students my age who can no longer do so. Over the many weeks that I have been in this class, I have learned so much not only about Judaism and our beliefs, but also about myself and my classmates. I think I speak for all of us when I say that this class was truly different from all of our other Hebrew school classes, and that we had been working up for this all of our years. I very quickly would like to thank Rabbi Kahn, where are you? for teaching this class, because even though we were all sometimes irritating and loud, you still stuck with us and got us here today. As I stated earlier, on the Jubilee, we have to give everything back to its original owners. But in today's terms, it seems to me that that is a little out of date. Instead, I think that we shouldn't have to wait every 50 years, and instead of giving everything back, we should make it a priority to give back to our community and charitable causes. Shabbat Shalom. So we will be chanting again from Bahar.
We have many yads that the kids will be using from their B'nai Mitzvah. And, of course, we have our CBI yad for those who would like to use that. It's an honor to call our Ba'alei Kriya, our Torah readers this morning. Maddie, Lauren, Sophia, and Lily will be chanting from Torah. And for the honor of blessing the Torah will be Hallie Heimovich. Tamod Yehudit Malka Bat Shlomo Ve Gittel Leah from memory. Gittel Rivka from memory. I got the Gittel.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Amvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Amen. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe behar Sinai lemor. Daber el v'nei Yisrael ve'emarta alehem ki tavo'u el haaretz asher ani noten lachem v'shavta haaretz Shabbat ladonai sheish shanim tizra sadecha v'sheish shanim tizmor karmecha v'asavta et tevuavta.
Amen. Uvashana hashvit Shabbat Shabbaton. Yeh la'aretz Shabbat l'Adonai. Sadecha lo tizra. V'charmecha lo tizmor. Et sufia ki tircha lo tiksor. Vet in vein zirecha lo tivsor. Shanat Shabbaton yeh la'aretz. V'haita Shabbat ha'aretz lachem le'ochla lecha ul'avdecha ve'ulamatecha u'liskircha u'toshavecha hagarim imach ve'livchemtecha ve'lachaya asher be'artzecha tiechol tivuata lechol.
Amen. V'safarta lecha sheva shabtot shanim, sheva shanim, sheva pemim, v'hayu lecha imei sheva shabtot hashanim, tesha arba'im shana, v'ha'avarta shofar teruah b'chodesh hashvi, b'asor lachodesh b'yom ha'kippurim. Taviru shofar b'chol artzchem, v'kidashtem et shenat ha'hamishim shana, v'ukratem dror, ba'aretz l'chol yoshvecha, yovel ki tiyeh lachem, v'shavtem ish el achuzato, v'ish el mishpachto tashuvu. Yovel hi shenat hachamishim shenat yelechem lo tizra'u v'lo tikseru et sifichecha v'lo tizeru et nezireha ki yovel hi kadosh yelechem min hasadeh toklu et tevuata bishnat hayovel hazot tashvu ish el achuzato.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. We take one moment to ask for God's blessings for healing on our friends or family who are in need of prayers for healing this Shabbat. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov mi'utenu saraf grach v'leah hu yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. If you'd like to say out loud the name of a loved one you'd like us to pray for on the Shabbat, please do so at this time. Kadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Alehem Lachlimam Rafotam Lachseakam Ve'yishlach Lahem Mehera Refuah Shlema Min HaShamayim Refuah Tanefesh Refuah Taguf Hachta Ba'agala V'zman Kariv V'Namar Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill, those whose names we have said aloud, and those in our hearts. May the Holy Blessed One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say Amen. And we ask for God's blessings upon all of our Torah readers, our Baalei Kriya, and for our Aliyah deliverer. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzhak v'Yaakov v'mitenu saraf grach v'leah hu yivarech et kol b'nei Kehilah Kedoshah Beth Israel. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless Hallie and Maddie and Lauren and Sophia and Lily, who have come up to the Torah in honor of God and Torah. May they all merit from Adonai protection, rescue from any trouble or distress, from any illness, minor or serious. May God send blessing and success to all of them and to, of course, their classmates and their families in every endeavor. Together with all Israel, let us say Amen. We are... It is a morning of firsts, not only the first time that we recited Kaddish D'Rabbanan, but the first time that a confirmand will be doing the Torah lifting Hagbah. And so it's a pleasure to call for the honor of lifting the Torah, Chloe, and the Torah addressing will be Gabby B. Gabby B will be dressing the Torah. Everybody else, please stand as the Torah is lifted to be redressed. Down a little bit more. Vezot Torah shares. Please be seated. You don't have to do that part. Wait, hang on. Let me get that for you. Just a second.
If I have learned anything from the Haftorah portion for this Shabbat, and even from being a part of a Jewish community my entire life, it's that the Jewish spirit and faith consists of one central idea. It is that we, as one community, are stronger together than anything we have ever faced alone. And no matter how dark things seem, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel if we can just see past the shadows that cover it. I know that sounds like some kind of moral of the story thing that you would get after a childhood fairy tale, or even the ending of some super cliche movie, but it really is a trait and ability that we as a community possess and have possessed for years and years. In the Haftorah for Behar, the prophet Jeremiah was sent to prison for prophesying the destruction of Jerusalem. But while Jeremiah sat in prison like a bump on a log, God came to him and told him that his cousin Hanamel would come to him and offer to purchase his ancestral lands, an offer which God ordered him to accept. Of course, Jeremiah obliged, as every person should do when ordered around by an all-powerful deity that is responsible for your very existence. The two men sign official documents and make payments. Witnesses watch the process to make sure that everything is done correctly. In the end, the deed was given to Baruch, son of Nevel, who hid it for years in an earthenware vessel.
Let's take a second to stop and think of the biggest and most heinous crime known to the Jewish community, the Holocaust. 6 million people died, yet we are still here, prospering and living our lives to the fullest. We, as a Jewish community, can overcome anything that we are faced with, no matter how hopeless the situation may seem. We are stronger than we know. We just have to stick together. Shabbat Shalom.
We're about to recite the blessings. For those of you who have plot commentaries, we are on page 861 for the Haftorah for Bahar.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar b'mirim tovim v'ratzah v'divreihem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Habocher b'Torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo in v'nviei ha'emet v'tzedek.
Vayomer Yirmiyahu, Haya devar Adonai elai lemor. Hine Hanamel ben Shalom dodeha, ba'eleha lemor. Kine leha et sadi asher ba'anatot. Ki leha mishpat hagula liknot. Vayavo elai hanam el ben dodi. Ki devar Adonai el hatzar hamatara. Vayomer elai Knena et sadi asher ba'anatot asher ba'eretz binyamin ki leha mishpat ha'yerusha ulha ha'gula knela va'eda ki devar Adonai hu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol ha'olamim sadik b'chol hadorot v'ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdaber umkayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah v'al ha'avodah v'al hanvi'im v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu liktusha v'limnucha lechavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarchim otach yitbarach shimcha befi kol hai tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai hamkadesh hashabbat.
We take a moment now to return the Torah to the Aron HaKodesh. It's a pleasure to call Josh, Gabby S., and Noah to open the Aron HaKodesh as we return the Torah. Everybody else, please turn to page 374 in your Sidurim, and please stand. Yeah, hallelujah, et Shem Adonai, ki nizkav Shemo levado, hodo al eretz v'shamayim, vayaren keren le'amo, tehila lecho chasidav v'ibnei Yisrael am kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Behold, a good doctrine has been given to you, my Torah. Do not forsake it. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast, and all who cling to it find happiness. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Eitz chaim hi lemach hazikim bar v'tom המאושר, דרכיה דרכנו עם, וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה, חדש חדש ימינו, חדש ימינו כקדם. Give it a little nudge there at the end. There you go. Little nudge. Thanks, guys. Please be seated. This is the part of the service where we get to say all kinds of nice things about our confirmands, and in a few moments present them with their confirmation certificates and a little gift from Congregation Beth Israel. And so it's a pleasure to call first, this is the order, just so everyone knows what's going on. First to call Jackie Cohen, the president of our board of directors, for some remarks. Then Stacy Rosenthal, our religious school director, who will share some thoughts because she's known you for a little while and wants to give you some love. And then our entire senior staff team will come up to present you with your certificates and gifts. I'll say a couple of things, and then Jason and I will have the distinct honor of blessing you. So first, our president of the board of directors, Jackie Cohen.
Thank you, Rabbi.
You are welcome.
I wanted to sit out there so I could see all of their faces and hear them. So, Yasher Koach, everyone. Amazing job. Mazel tov to the families. First, I want to just recognize the families, all the parents that have spent time schlepping them back and forth before they had their driver's license and supporting them, most importantly, in this endeavor. To you guys, I wanted to say, I honestly didn't really know what confirmation was until my son was confirmed. I have to go this way so I can see you. Till my son was confirmed a few years back. And since then, I've gone to every single confirmation, and every single year I have learned from you. You guys are inspiring, you're creative, you're uninhibited, and your thoughts are just leave me with something to think about. So thank you all. You exceeded my expectations and did not disappoint. I wanted to say that I feel very connected to this 98th confirmation class. I've known many of you for most of your lives. I've attended many of your bar and bat mitzvahs. I have attended many family celebrations and holidays. I was Rianne's Hebrew mentor up here a few years back for her bat mitzvah, so it feels very special for me as the president to be up here saying a few remarks to you. My wish to you is something that you guys always hear, but to continue on with your Jewish education. But it is so important. You've already taken the first step. You're being confirmed, and I hope that you stay on with Mayan. I hope that you stay on with being involved in your Jewish communities and continue your leadership. You guys have exhibited huge leadership skills, and cultivating your Jewish relationships. As you guys all know, the friendships that you guys have developed here are going to be lifelong friendships, so it's something to really take home. And it's the same thing that we all do on the board. So on behalf of the board, I wish you guys all a mazel tov, yasher koach, and it's a pleasure to be up here. Thank you. Yeah.
Stay salah.
First of all, mazel tov. You guys were amazing, as always. And this is the longest that they've ever been quiet. Seriously. No, in all seriousness, I think that sometimes as adults we forget that when you are having conversations, we think you're just chatting and Snapchatting and all of that, but that that you guys really have some deep thoughts, and there are some really amazing conversations that have taken place between the confirmands this year, and although it's been said so many times about we learn from our students, we really do continue to learn and see things through different eyes, and it's been just such an amazing pleasure to watch them all learn and grow into these amazing people. So I actually want to talk a little bit about the gifts they're going to receive. You know, in the past, we've given books, and books are cool. I mean, you know, like, books are nice to have, but this group is a unique and special group, and we wanted to find something that we could give you that no other class has been given before. So let me give you a little background on how we chose this gift. So Judaism is a religion that doesn't focus so much on buildings and shrines and cathedrals. There are many occasions that we sanctify, but there are very few places that we actually call holy. And instead, Judaism's more oriented to the holiness of time rather than the holiness of space. And even Abraham Joshua Heschel, who you all learned about in confirmation, referred to Shabbat as a sanctuary in time. He described Judaism as something that is portable or packable and that you can take it with you wherever you go. So this year, most of you as confirmands expanded not only your Jewish knowledge, but also your independence as you obtained your permits and your driver's licenses. And we wanted to give you a gift that would allow you to combine your newfound freedom and responsibility with a reminder of your covenant with God, and as a symbol that you adhere to a special set of rules, rituals, and beliefs which you confirmed today. Thus, confirmation. So while the cases of the mezuzahs are lovely, it's what is inside, not unlike people, that is most important. The parchment inside, which is known as a cloth, is most often inscribed with words from Deuteronomy, reminding us to inscribe these words on the doorposts of our homes and on our gates. But with your insanely busy schedules, we wanted to give you something which you could take with you for when you are neither in your homes nor inside your gates. So we have for you all a car mezuzah to place in your cars, and I encourage you to open the mezuzah and take out the cloth to read what is written inside. Some of you have the traditional traveler's prayer, and many of you have words shared by your parents expressing their wishes that God watch over you and deliver you safely to all of your destinations. And then, like Rabbi Khan mentioned, we also will be giving you a certificate signed by our board of directors, President Jackie Cohen, by Jason Bronowitz, by Rabbi Khan, and by myself. And all of these gifts, I hope you know, come with much love and pride in all that you are and all that you are becoming. And it has been just an absolute pleasure watching you all grow up here, running around in our halls, and we look forward to continuing to see where your journeys take you. So, Mazel Tov and Shabbat Shalom.
So Stacy and I want to call Jackie and Jason, our camp director, Leah Zigman, our assistant camp director, Marin Gordon, our religious school assistant, Jennifer Walker, and Kathy Brewer. And Linda, you spend so much time with these kids in the waiting room during their B'nai Mitzvah, so you come up too. And you answer all their parents' crazy phone calls, of course. No, the phone calls aren't crazy. They're totally normal. Half the congregation should be on the bima, but you guys are actually going to call out names, so you actually have a job. I want to make a special shout out to Fran Frazen and ask Fran to join us on the bima too, because Fran is not only the grandmother of Saul Lerner, but also a past president. And since Saul is in St. Louis for a bar mitzvah, you have to accept his certificate on his behalf.
Thank you.
So you get the role of grandma, but also past president. And Jennifer Garber, will you join us on the Bema too, as youth committee, founding of the youth initiative, youth culture chieftain, and former board member. I have a lot of titles for you. Did I, now I'm looking around, are there any other staff members that I inadvertently? Okay. So this team of people, all of us, really had this wonderful vision many years ago of making confirmation not just sort of one of those services that we did when we were kids that were very long and a little bit boring, but really integrating the kids, and this is all part of our youth culture, all part of our youth initiative, to make sure that our kids have experiences in their very, very crazy schedules that are not only worth their time, but that are ongoing so that they know that being Jewish is a 24/7 endeavor. That is where Stacy got the idea for the beautiful mezuzot, and that is where a lot of our ideas, not just conceptually, but in practice for our kids, come from. So as we call your names, please come up, take your certificate and your mezuzah, and then you have to hug every person on this people. And we're going in order. Everyone gets to call at least one kid. Jennifer, I guess you're first.
All right. Jillian Bandler.
Jason.
Sophia Blackstone.
Lauren Breakstone.
Rianne Bressler.
I won't mess it up.
This is your big moment.
Gabrielle Burstein.
Zachary Kane.
Lily D.
Chloe Ephraim.
Call them together? Sure. No. Joshua Kaplan.
Hallie Heimovich.
I'm so proud of you. The clumsy.
Noah Kaplan.
I don't know how that happened. I don't know. Mazel tov. Congratulations.
Christy Miracle.
Rachel Rabin.
Maddie Schur. Oh, my, and Gabby Sudhalter.
Stacy, thank you. And then we also have Solomon Lerner's certificate and his mezuzah as well, which we will give to him at a later date.
Simmin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmin tov, simmin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmin tov, simmin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmin tov, Kehilah simmin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmin tov, simmin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmin tov, simmin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simmin tov, Kehilah Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Olecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Olecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Olecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Olecho Mazel tov. So, my friends, God, I like the going back and forth, and I have clergy confusion. Thank you very much for the two of you who laughed at my joke. Thank you. So, my friends, before we have the honor of blessing you, you can all pretend to be listening to me like you did the entire year and play around with your gifts and look at your certificates, but they are very cool and neat. So, I just want to say a couple of things. Number one is that I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of all of our kids who are involved in Biddy and who are involved in Mayan and who are involved in Camp Stein, who are involved in leadership positions in Nifty and Biddy, who are madrichim. And when we present these ideas about how to do the post-bar and bat mitzvah thing to your parents, for your parents probably about 5 years ago we did this, 4 years ago. We try to help people understand that all you need to do is connect into one, maybe two of these different aspects of our post-B'nai Mitzvah life at Congregation Beth Israel, and that we hope from that you'll be set for college, that your Jewish identities will be fully loaded with all the updates, and that when you arrive at college and enter the world where you will be completely autonomous and independent in many ways, that you'll be prepared Jewishly, that your Jewish identities will be solid. So I want to tell you how courageous and amazing I think it is when kids choose to become confirmands, choose to continue the educational part of their Jewish life beyond the bar bat mitzvah. A lot of parents walk around when their kids are 25 and 30 saying, why isn't my kid connecting Jewishly? Why aren't they associating with more synagogues or affiliating? Why don't they even have Jewish friends anymore? Rabbi, what did I do wrong? And I usually say, you didn't do anything wrong, but when you end someone's Jewish connection and Jewish learning at the age of 13, they are developmentally, in many ways, incapable of making Jewish decisions because it is a lifelong process and project. And so you represent the future so well because you had the audacity to continue your learning. And I know so many of you are madrichim, and so many of you are going to Israel this summer, and so many of you will continue to be involved, like our Mayan graduates last night. But none of that means anything to you because you're still kids. And so I just want you to know from my experience in my, I don't know how many years I've known some of you your entire lives. I think I named some of you maybe even. And Stacy's known you forever. I'm just so proud of you. Please stop growing so tall, though. I don't like it when you're all taller than me. But I'm so proud of you. You are amazingly inspirational because of these commitments that you make, but now really because of the people who you are. We start the year with death, dying, and the afterlife from a Jewish perspective for a reason. I think that the reason why a lot of us get very confused in our lives, maybe even anxious at times, and especially when the world is going so chaotic. Now, let's be honest, the world is going really chaotic right now, and it doesn't help that there are beeps and buzzers and screens constantly telling us what to be afraid of and what to worry about, telling us about all the darkness in the world. Like, that doesn't help. But the reason why we start there is because death is, as we said at the beginning of the year, and the Jewish perspective on it is really just a parallel universe. It's another idea, another space, if you will. And we shouldn't avoid it or think of it as something that is morbid or dark. I mean, I guarantee there are parents and grandparents right now saying, why would he be talking about death during confirmation? I'm not actually talking about it, but we talked about it. And we start there because I want you guys to understand that brightness and darkness, celebration, joy, and tragedy, a crazy, insane world, that all of these things have counterbalances in Judaism, right? The Shemitah, the sabbatical year, is like Control-Alt-Delete for the land. Like everything, the land, our bodies, our minds, fluctuate between crazy, busy, and even sometimes traumatic and dark, and light. The land needs a break every 7th year. And whether you're a modern farmer doing crop rotation or you're living during the times of Torah, that reboot, that reset is so important. So we start with darkness in our class and end with light as a way of saying that everything leads to light. But it can only do that if you yourselves are willing, ready, and capable of understanding yourselves better. I believe that Judaism, while there are many who believe Judaism is a set of laws and a set of rituals and these are the things you're supposed to do and how you're doing them and when you're supposed to do them, I believe that Judaism is about how you view the world, how you see things differently. It's about where you, with your minds and your hearts and your souls, find opportunities for mitzvot, for tzedakah, for tikkun olam, how you overcome obstacles and tragedies and traumas to do that. Have you guys read in school the Knights of the Round Table yet? Well, the Knights of the Round Table, you will read it at some point. You have to read these things and learn about the Knights of the Round Table. The Knights of the Round Table were these knights who sat around a round table. But they sat around a round table because when we sit around circular tables and even sometimes square tables, we're all sort of equal. We can see each other. We're on the same level. And they were looking for the Holy Grail. It's part of Christian tradition, the Holy Grail, but it was a Kiddush cup after all. It was. Thank you. And maybe in Israel you'll find it somewhere. I don't know. But it's not about that. The Holy Grail is this thing that it also symbolizes the meaning of life. You know, the Messianic era, whatever you want to call it. They're searching and searching. And in one of the stories, the knights go and they look for it in the darkest of places. The scariest of places. You know, it's kind of cool because they're together and they're knights, so they're kind of safe, I guess. But when they go off to go look for the Holy Grail, they go to different places that are dark. What I want you to be able to do in your lives as Jews is to accept those darker parts of the world, to accept that there are, this is something that I think that you can work on, to accept that we each have a little bit of darkness inside of ourselves, that we all have places where we go into bad moods or we feel things are just too anxious or tragic or whatever it is that we do, and that you know that you are fully and completely capable of finding the light from that. The Talmud says, Ein ra she'ein ba tov, that there is no bad thing that doesn't have good within it. Why do I say this to you this year? Because I do think the world is chaotic and filled with darkness. And I think that makes us a little bit more crazy. It makes us a little bit more anxious. It makes us a little bit more apt to scream at people and get angry at people and to yell at people and to call them names. This year, I hope you learned that from darkness, once you are accountable to your part of that, that you will put your eyes and your minds to understanding that within yourselves and change it for the good. Change it to the light. There's a great line in Tanakh, in the Psalms, that you will understand, I'll translate that God created the world not for the darkness. That God created the world not for anxiety. That God created the world not for sadness and pain. God created the world for days like today. This is why God created the world. So that Jewish kids could sit on a bima in a synagogue on Shabbat and declare in their own voices meaning, what it means to be Jewish, what it means to be a Jew living in our world today. This is why God created the world. My prayer for you is that you take some of the information we discussed, some of the lessons that you've learned, and you begin to continually apply those lessons to your lives and look at the world through Jewish eyes. And every now and then, take a sabbatical, take a break, because you can't take it 24/7. I'm promising you. None of us are wired to take the information that we are getting right now in our world 24/7. That means turn the phones off, take a moment for quiet and peace and reflection, and do what you did this morning. Give thanks. Be grateful. Be Jewish. Turn any darkness. Acknowledge the darkness, but turn it into light. You guys are very good at that. You showed us that this morning. So we end our service with a blessing, with these words of blessing, coming all the way thousands of years from Aaron to the Jewish people, asking for God to protect you, for God to let you see a little bit of that divine light within yourselves, others, and the universe, and to, of course, pray that God will give you peace. Thank you very much for making a very chaotic year for me, a little bit sometimes more chaotic, but really for the most part, a beautiful, beautiful thing. You guys reminded me, and I know I speak for all of your teachers, why it is that we do what we do. So I am honored to ask you to join with me and Jason in front of the Aron Kodesh so that we can ask for God's blessings. Ask everyone to please stand. I'm so happy for you. I hope that you had a lovely Shabbat morning service. You guys did great. I'm not surprised at all. And the truth is that you can do anything you want. You have beautiful, beautiful lives ahead of you and beautiful souls. And you've got amazing personalities. And I want you to know, I became particularly in confirmation. And Maurice and I got in trouble all the time, and this kid was yelling at me and my rabbi over me all the time, and this was payback this year for what I did to this. Karma's like, as you know. Thank you guys very much. It was so much fun. So, please continue. Sorry. It was my fault. I'm the one who got myself into this place. You can ask me a question? No. Yes. Okay. I'm going to bless you now before we get into trouble. Thanks, guys. I can't wait to see you at the airport for those of you who are going in a couple of weeks. And for the rest of you, you come with what? No, I said You notice how I don't even get 2 sentences done. Okay. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace all the days of your lives.
Amen. Can we have a group hug? Very perky group, yes? Thanks. Please be seated. Special mazel tov to all of our parents who are here as parents of our, I was about to say B'nai Mitzvah, parents of our confirmands. And we are so proud of you all. I want to give a special thanks. Once we're finished with our service with Aleinu and Kaddish, we'll be, of course, joining for Kiddush Hamotzi in the Rotunda, followed by a really amazing, awesome Oneg Shabbat in Kiddush luncheon. Helene Miracle has worked every day, countless hours, at least in the last month, but all year, leading our committee. I think you slept here last night preparing, yes? But Helene, thank you so much. And I want to, Stacy, the rest of the committee, we've got Kathy, thank you very much. Kathy Brewer, by the way, thank you very much for helping to coordinate. Hi. The Ephraim family has been at the synagogue for 18 months, and thank you so much. So thank you. And, the Rabins. Oh, first of all, we want to thank Rachel Rabin's mom for being on the committee, but your dad for taking the picture. I mean, I think we've got a career choice here. I mean, thank you for taking the picture. And Linda Bandler? Where are you? Thank you. Mrs. Bandler, thank you very much. Guys, and thanks to all the parents. I know that even though this was our committee and people who met every week and did a lot of the heavy lifting, that there were many of you who participated. And I always ask for clarification on these things because I'm the one who always forgets the person who will be most offended by being not mentioned. So thank you all. But thanks to all the parents for your participation, and Jackie again for being on the bima. And I want to acknowledge our Vice President, Robin Roeder, is here, and many other current and former board members as well. All right, we are going to move on now to Aleinu and a couple of final iyunim and Kaddish. So I'd like to ask everyone to please join us on page 586 for Aleinu, and together we stand. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, latet gedula le'otzeh breshit, shelo asanu kugoye aratzot, velo samanu kimishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'goralenu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, Nifnei melech malchei amlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notei shamayim beyoser haaretz umoshav ikaro bashamayim limal ushchinatu zo begovhei meromim hu Eloheinu Emet malkeinu efes ulato ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת יום בהשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Similar to how death marks the end of every life, Mourner's Kaddish will mark the end of our confirmation. Marcus Tullius Cicero once said, "The life of the dead is placed in the memory of the living." Death is personal because the role it plays changes within every life, but death may occur at different times in one's life, whether it be through the loss of another life or their own. Despite how devastating it is, death is essential because it reminds us to cherish the limited time we have. And in that limited time, it is our responsibility to exude the word of God through kindness, charity, community, and faith. With these actions, we determine how we will live on in the memories of others after our death. As people of God, we must remain steadfast in our faith, although we cannot yet comprehend why death transpires. It is our responsibility to ensure that our impact on others embodies the purpose God has given to our lives. I ask of you to hold on to the memories and feelings that accompany them, as a way of celebrating the lives of those who are no longer with us.
Oseh Shalom is a prayer of peace for all who inhabit the earth. Ideally, we would love to live in a place where peace is always present, a place without anger or violence, but today our society drifts further from that world with all the items, words, and actions designed for violence. It is rare to find someone who has been untouched by the grasp of anger or violence. Words and actions can be very harsh and cruel at points, bringing in lots of negativity to the world. And I can guarantee everyone has probably done something unsavory, myself included. I've done many things that I regret and that I wish could be taken back, but there's an ability to change if we take the time to make ourselves conscious of our words and actions. We can go forward into a world with more peace. Taking a step in the direction of kindness, our small steps can make a big difference in how people are treated and the amount of love in the world. Shabbat Shalom.
It is on this Shabbat with deepest sympathies that we note the passing of the following people who were recently laid to their eternal rest and whose families observe Shiva and Shloshim, the immediate 7 and 30-day mourning period. Ethel Kaplan, Rudy Kirshner, husband of Elaine, father of Julie, Arthur Chimmerin, brother of Harvey Chimmerin, Linda Rosenthal, wife of Marty Rosenthal, Rabbi Aaron Pankin, president of the Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion. On this Shabbat, we also remember with love those of our congregational family whose yard sites occur this week. Their names are lovingly listed on our Shabbat flyer. The following names were requested to be read aloud by members of their families: Toby W. Hardy, Sadie Leonard, Baruch Marzuk, Ralph Siegel. If anyone in the congregation would like to say out loud the name of a loved one he would like us to take into our hearts with our own, please say their name at this time. Mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah be'alma divrach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'le'omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kutsha b'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to those who are grieving, as together we say, Amen. Ose shalom bimromav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Mazel tov to the confirmation class of 5778. Shabbat shalom. I did it in 2 hours.
Yeah, how about that, Eric?